Hey yo, what is going on and what is right with the viewers of the tube? Let me first introduce myself as Tyler, the host of the crypto channel that keeps you waiting and winds up for the punch, kind of like this little putty tat.
My cross, it was brown. That cross that turned brown. What are you doing? No.
Please.
Wow, that's it.
She's thinking about it. Look at that face.
Have you wear it or grab it?
She's trying to do it.
I know it's gonna turn back.
She's Rudo. There she goes.
I'm just kidding. Although we might laugh now.
You know how we rattle them domes. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, it's time to revisit a favorite blockchain project of mine who has been striding forward week after week after visiting some of the DeFi projects in the same ecosystem as them, Polkadot, yesterday. I hope you know what I'm talking about because the blockchain is the energy web chain. There are so many good things with Energy Web, it's hard to keep track of, and I have covered multiple things. Their involvement with decentralizing energy origin certificates, with TEO, the energy origin, which involves ledger origin, the hardware component of this take on origin certificates, which is already live and in production, going onto the Energy Web chain. Then there was their deep involvement with Hoogdalem 2.0, where this Dutch neighborhood was coming together, interconnecting their renewable energy equipment to become their own mini electric grid and produce and sell their energy back in the new energy marketplace powered by Energy Web and their D3A, decentralized energy marketplace. There is so much more to the Energy Web. Big energy partners from all walks of life, Tesla connections with a virtual power plant project going on in South Australia, and more. All this research we have performed prior is in the description if you want to check it out and get the full picture. Now I hope more people understand how the Energy Web chain and Polkadot are closely related and will have a similar structure, as Energy Web will be hosting parachains on its own relay chain. For example, their white paper. These parachains, i.e. parallel blockchains, parallelized blockchains, do not need to be aware of the data passing through the others. They could overlay on the same geographic region, but perform different functions and catalog different data, or they could serve entirely different markets and or geographies. For example, imagine two separate Energy Web chains, each responsible for the electricity grids in North America and Europe, connected through an EWF relay chain, based on the Polkadot protocol. So a basic design of that structure, it looks like this: relay chain, the parachains, but there is also another thing, the Ethereum Bridgechain, and that is what I want to get into and show everybody an opportunity hiding in plain sight. Actually, it could be more than a few. So the bridge to Ethereum, how is this going down in Polkadot? Well, the Gavin Wood put out a Medium post titled Polkadot, Substrate, and Ethereum, explaining just that in October of last year. He spoke on the interoperability with Ethereum and says, our commitment takes 3 distinct projects, which I'd like to take some time to explain. A Polkadot Ethereum Public Network Bridge, a Substrate Parity Ethereum POA Bridge, and an Ethereum compatible EVM Smart Contract Execution Module in Substrate. With the first one, he says there are obstacles with Ethereum's current design, although efforts are underway to solve this, like Chainx. Then the important one for right now, the Substrate Parity Ethereum POA Bridge. And he says to support the vision of supporting Ethereum right now, they will create this bridge, which is very similar to the existing parity bridge that sits at the heart of the XDAI chain. Yeah, that XDAI, stake. So these tools regarding POA, they are already out there. XDAI is an example. And guess what? Energy Web has a POA bridge to the Ethereum mainnet. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Use the bridge. Now if you're using MetaMask, which I am, you need to connect your wallet or wallet ledger combo by clicking login with wallet in the top right hand corner, or it should just automatically pop up. Sign in, and as we can see, the bridge is set up for the Ethereum mainnet, back to the Energy Web based chain, which we don't want. We want to go from the Energy Web chain to Ethereum. So there is a step with MetaMask, as we need to connect to their chain. I have included the documentation for those who want to read below on this step, but let's do it right now in the video. In MetaMask, we need to connect to the Energy Web's remote RPC by adding a custom node. And to do this, we got to go to Networks and click on Custom RPC. And here's exactly what you need to fill in. Name Energy Web RPC. New RPC URL is https://rpc.energyweb.org/. Chain ID is 246, symbol is EWT, and the block explorer you can fill in with https://explorer.energyweb.org/. Make sure everything is right and then click save, and you should be connected to the Energy Web chain. Now going back to the bridge, the two should be swapped, so you should have Energy Web chain to the Ethereum mainnet. And if your EWT is stored in MetaMask, they should show up. If they are on a ledger, you need to send them from a ledger to a MetaMask address only as of right now. I have included awesome documentation on how to do all of this in the description as well. Now we should see our EWT in the Bridge app, and the next step is to transfer. I'll do one of the two EWT to save some of that for gas. Confirm that you want to do it and click continue. Confirm on MetaMask, and the transaction should go through on both Mask and the Bridge. Now we have EWT called EWTB on the Ethereum mainnet. I'm sure you're like, cool Tyler, what's the frickin' point? Well, the point is an opportunity in Uniswap. Now everyone knows since Energy Web and its token is its own chain, getting it isn't the most simple of things to do. I've had so many comments in my Telegram. It's only on 2 exchanges that some do not have access to. But look at the bottom on CoinGecko. There it's trading on Uniswap v2, and the volume is really low. And why is that? Well, because nobody really knows about it just yet, as it was just released earlier this week, the Energy Web Uniswap pools. As we can see, the pools total is just over only 1K, only $131 in trading volume, of which was 4 transactions over the past 24 hours. So if you didn't know about Uniswap and its decentralized swapping protocol, those who provide liquidity to the pools, they earn the trading fees. And since this is a new pool, of which many could come to use with the limitations on exchanges, those who provide the liquidity could be earning fees like an exchange. But as always, learn on providing liquidity to Uniswap before. Understand the risks involved, which I have covered in this video, posted earlier this year, and I have left a pool tracking and performance link for EWTB on Uniswap, so you can see what's going on and the average returns as the pool grows. So the bridge and the DeFi explosion with Energy Web will only accelerate, and eventually we just might see a blossoming EWTB DAI pool and trading pairs across a multitude of other assets and stablecoins on Ethereum. This is only the beginning, my friends. So POA bridges, trading, and pools is great, but I know you guys love the Chico research and me digging to uncover those gems. So let's get into it right now. So Energy Web's chain is in version 1.0 right now. It's live, validating blocks, transactions, and running. And it's based on POA. From documentation, to establish consensus about the current state and canonical history of transactions, the EWC and the EW test networks currently use the Aurora Proof of Authority consensus algorithm. In this POA consensus model, only a defined group of nodes called validators are permissioned to validate transactions and create new blocks and earn the fees. Now, I wonder who are these validators? Well, we know this, the likes of Shell, TEPCO, SB Group, Wirepass, Alea Group, AES, NG, Stedin, and other power players across the energy industry. But right now, it's the big boys getting the tokens from validating. But with the Polka release and Kusama functioning without a hitch, Energy Web is about to move to the next stage of their blockchain. Energy Web Chain 2.0, you could call it. Like mentioned, this will be closely related to Polkadot, and Gavin Wood, the creator of DOT and the EVM and Ethereum Solidity, actually said this to the EWF team. He proposed that they should be their own relay chain, with POA consensus, where token holders like us can nominate validators and participate in the block rewards. So you could actually stake with Shell. Pretty cool, huh? Well, it gets even better. So when EWT begins this transition, and it's eventually finished, EW's new chain will mirror DOT or Kusama, and staking will be enabled. So imagine this, Energy Web is the main relay chain. Each validator building infrastructure on Energy Web will have their own parachains for each DApp, like the D3A, Decentralized Autonomous Area Agents, a new transactive energy grid product, of which is a strong focus of those behind this project, like Grid Singularity, which many of these companies as validators are already working on. And in the documentation on D3A, you see how this works. It will build itself on up up, from smart device origin, think ledger origin and energy origin, up to buildings, to neighborhoods, to regions, to an entire grid. And as we know from Hoogdalem, they are already up to the neighborhood part. Once region gets going, think who is on this Hoogdalem with Energy Web. One of their validators, Stedin. And from their Wikipedia, Stedin is responsible for the transport of electricity and gas to approximately 2 million households and industrial customers. Stedin has a total of almost 4 million connections, in addition to 3 of the 4 major cities of The Hague, Utrecht, and Rotterdam. And the port of Rotterdam also falls under this network operator's area. Yeah, region, meaning an entire city like Rotterdam could eventually be its own D3A and a parachain within the Stedin ecosystem. And eventually, Stedin's main parachain, which is in an interconnected group of D3A DApp parachains for each region, you could eventually stake with them, Stedin, if you think the company in this case is going to grow, like a stakeable share in their grid. And all of this is going on the Energy Web chain. And the growth of the validator ecosystem will be something to behold once this gets going, growing and expanding by the second. That is the future. Not far out, but it is the future. Now let's go a little bit farther out into something I believe might be of future use for the Energy Web chain. Ocean Protocol and their AI and data marketplaces. So there has actually been innovation proposals submitted to Energy Web for an EWAI device hierarchy, an EWAI Ocean Data Marketplace, and even EWAI API. Now, these are just innovation proposals, nothing commercial or concrete, but there are connections and proposals being made, so I'm keeping my eye on this one. Well, viewers, I hope this video did a great job of explaining why I am researching and digging like I am into the Energy Web chain, and I hope I brought forward some opportunities in the crypto space. POA, Chainx, Uniswap, Ocean Protocol. Cheers, I'll see you next time.